Alright guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Further coverage on this whole IV debacle with Islam Makhachev, Dan Hooker with the accusations. So we got some new information keeping you guys up to speed. Now initially it looked like Dan Hooker had no proof. It was just like baseless accusations, words. But we can't be biased. If new information presents itself, we have to make the corrections, report on it. It's only fair and right. So here we go. So apparently the use of IV is permitted. Since 2019, there was a rule change. If Islam used an IV in Australia, the UFC states that within certain parameters it could have been legal, but the Australian Commission goes against that, and with them it's just flat out illegal, period. Alright, shout out Brett Akamoto. He did some research, did some digging. This is the statement from Brett Akamoto. If an athlete is administered an IV of more than a permitted 100 milliliters, as long as it's done by a licensed pro, it is not a violation, even in cases where dehydration caused by a weight cut is the issue being treated. In other words, IVs used to treat severe dehydration caused by cutting weight are not really banned, as long as a physician is the one to justify and perform it. That's from Brett Akamoto. This is a statement from Jeff Nowitzki, who is UFC's Vice President of Athletic Health and Performance. Nowitzki says, UFC anti-doping programs IV rule was modified in 2019. Athletes, managers, and support have received multiple advisories on this rule change beginning in 2019. All UFC ADP rules have been publicly posted since 2015. Alright, so this is getting crazy. So this is from the Australian Commission. The Commission also prohibits the use of intravenous therapies which are used for aiding rehydration from excessive and deliberate dehydration. Any promoter, trainer, or other person registered with the Commission found to be encouraging the use of such methods will be sanctioned by the Commission. Any contestant known to be using these methods will not be allowed to compete. So that goes against the UFC's policy. So in short, quick summary, Dan Hooker made some accusations that Islam Makhachev used an IV and cheated before the Alexander Volkanovski fight. Initially, there was no proof. Most people thought that IVs were banned, period, altogether, but we just found out that under certain circumstances, IV is allowed for the safety of the fighter, even if the dehydration was caused by a weight cut. But it has to be within certain parameters, 100 milliliters, and within a 12-hour period. No more than that. The IV must be administered by a licensed professional, medical professional, or physician in the scope of like helping a person, like them being in danger of dehydration. The UFC requires this to be disclosed. Did Islam receive an IV for dehydration? And did he inform the UFC of that fact? Also, what was the amount of the hydration via IV? Over the legal limit or not? His team hasn't flat out said there was no use of IV and no rehydration via IV. They haven't flat out said that to my knowledge. Ali Abdelaziz came out with a tweet that has been deleted. He says, for all those idiots out there, any fighter under the UFC banner can take 2 to 3 liters of IV as long as it's done by a nurse or a professional. Next week I'm going to expose everybody. Islam Makhachev is the pound for pound king. Ali deleted that tweet, and by his admission there, he seems pretty misinformed. 2 to 3 liters is way above the limit. So either he's confused or that's what Islam received. What's going on, guys? This is getting crazy. We have to wait for further information. I wonder what's going to be the end result of this. I hope I cleared this up for you guys. I hope it made some sense. This whole thing is kind of convoluted, contradictions. Like I said, let's see what happens. Thanks for watching the video. Appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys on the next segment. Take care.